Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. In this video, we'll be talking about raccoon dogs and some facts that may surprise you. Please remember to like and subscribe. Now let's get right into it. Fact 1. China and Japan. Raccoon dogs actually originated from China and Japan and is a solely Eastern Asian animal. As we get into the next sections, they have been introduced to other places, but China and Japan is where they originated from. As a result, sometimes they are called Chinese raccoon dogs or Japanese raccoon dogs. It's also interesting to note that the Japanese raccoon dogs is sort of on its own class and its own subspecies, if you will. And in terms of the distribution in China, it's mostly on the eastern side, from south to north, along the eastern seaboard of the Chinese country and as well as the Korean peninsula. They don't venture too far out west. And if you look at the map of China, you can see that the most populated areas are on the eastern side, and that's where the raccoon dogs are. And the less populated western side don't have raccoon dogs. Now let's get into the next fact, introduced to Europe. Raccoon dogs, because of their fur, have been introduced to Eastern Europe, Russia, Ukraine, and many other countries. In fact, it is spreading across Scandinavia as well, and also into Western Europe. When they were being introduced, it was interesting to note that originally they only brought pregnant females to bred in captivity and also in the wild, and were not successful. Then they realized they need to bring both the male and female in order to have the population sustain itself. It is very interesting because generally animals don't have a role for the fathers, but in raccoon dogs, the father plays a critical role in raising the pups. It's also interesting to note that although introduced to Europe, it doesn't really go too far out to the south or to the west. For example, Italy doesn't have any raccoon dogs, nor does United Kingdom or Spain. It's really much confined to the mainland of Europe, stopping pretty much at Spain. So from Spain all the way to Russia is where the European raccoon dogs are. Alright, let's get into the next fact, the fox family. We've been talking a lot about this animal and mentioning that it's raccoon, raccoon dog, common raccoon dog, Chinese, Asian raccoon dogs, and so forth. But in reality, raccoon dogs are actually in the fox family, the fox genus and species. It is very interesting because it looks like a raccoon, its size is like a dog, but actually it belongs to the fox family, and they are actually a lot closer to the foxes than to common raccoons or dogs. So, it's a bit of a misnomer to call them raccoon dogs. I think they should have called them raccoon foxes or fox raccoons to make it easier to understand that they're not actually raccoons or dogs. And so next time someone tells you about raccoon dogs, you have to tell them that the name is very much misleading, and in reality this is a fox type animal belonging to the same genus and family as foxes. Another interesting fact is that they share habitats with foxes that are not true foxes, or like the gray fox in North America. Alright, let's get into the next fact. Fact 4. Short-lived animals. The raccoon dogs is a relatively short-lived animal, meaning that they reproduce, mature, and die very quickly. In the wild, longevity is roughly 6 to 7 years, and in captivity, they can live up to 11. They mature sexually at 8 to 10 months only, and the gestation period only lasts between 60 to 70 days. And so these type of animals can reproduce fast and able to grow fast and of course die fast. In the beginning of their lives, their fur is not colored and completely gray. They also cannot open their eyes. After about 2 weeks, the fur starts to lighten in color, with the final black tones remaining only around the eyes, giving them that raccoon look. They can begin eating raw foods and other foods brought by the parents as early as 3 weeks to 1 month, and they reach their full size at 4.5 months, which is incredibly fast for animals of this size. Their fast growth and quick reproduction make them a great target for fur farming and production. Alright, let's get into the next and final fact. The only fox type to hibernate. As I mentioned in the previous section, the raccoon dogs are more closely related to foxes. However, foxes do not hibernate. They're active throughout the winter, continually foraging and hunting for food and resources. However, raccoon dogs do hibernate, like bears. For the entirety of winter, raccoon dogs do hibernate in their dwelling and wake up in the spring. I think it's incredible that their lifespans are so short, they mature so fast, and yet they still hibernate. If you think about it, by hibernating and growing so fast, they pretty much spend a third or half of their life sleeping, if they're born around the winter time, which they do not. They actually have a roughly stable mating and breeding cycle that ends in late April, and then thus give birth to the animals in the summer, allowing them to grow full size before the winter. Of course, this is raccoon dogs in the wild. In captivity, it would be interesting to note that perhaps they do not hibernate, or they do hibernate during their fast growth periods. Alright, that's it for my video today. Thank you so much for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe. See you next time.